Hi students, this is the second session of the chapter Mughal Empire. In the first session, we mainly discuss about the sources of Mughal Empire. In this session, we are going to mainly discuss about the political history and administration of Akbar. You know, the founder of Mughal Empire was Babur, then followed by Babur, Humayun ruled the country. Then after Humayun, his infant son Akbar became the ruler and he ruled India for many years, and he is known as Akbar the Great because of his great achievement of the period. Then after Akbar, Jahangir, then Shah Jahan, the last ruler was Aurangzeb. All these six rulers were known as great Mughals of India because of the glory of their period. After that, Mughal Empire existed, but the rulers who came after the period of Aurangzeb, they are known as later Mughals. So we have to study about the period of great Mughals. Okay, but out of all these six great Mughals, we will be only discussing about Akbar. Why? Because according to the reduced syllabus, you have to learn only about Akbar, the political history of Akbar and administration. So mainly we discuss about Akbar's expansion, how he expanded his empire during his period, which are the battle fought by Akbar. He mainly fought the second battle of Panipat and battle of Haldi Hati. These are the two main battles fought by Akbar during his period. Then he adopted number of policies like Rajput policy of Akbar. We will discuss what kind of relation he maintained with the Rajput and how he brought about the integration in our country. That means unity between both Hindus and Muslims. Then that Mansabdari system, that means a ranking system given to the officials, and we will be discussing all these points in this topic from the pages of your history chapter. Children, see the syllabus of Mughal Empire. Here we discussed about Aini Akbari, the literary source of Mughal Empire, that is Aini Akbari, written by Abul Faisal. Then archaeological sources. Which are the archaeological sources? Like Taj Mahal, Jama Masjid, Red Fort. We discussed in detail, and in this session we are going to discuss mainly the political history and administration of Akbar. Okay, so let us go through the pages of Akbar in which it is discussing. So you see here the first pages, sources are mentioned. We gone through these pages. Then the founder of Mughal Empire is Babur. We don't have to study in detail about Babur, but we study only about Akbar. But let us have an overview of this Babur's period. You see how he established Mughal Empire in India with the first battle of Panipat. You know that the first battle of Panipat was held in the year 1526, and with whom? With Ibrahim Lodi, the last ruler of Delhi Sultanate. Okay, so with this, the first battle of Panipat, the Mughal Empire was established in India. Okay, so how did this empire got the name Mughal? You see, this Babur he had the relationship with the Mughal dynasty. You know, Mughal dynasty was such a big dynasty, huge dynasty. You can see here. You see the Mughal Empire. You see from where to where this extension is Mughal Empire, from here to such a large extension. So one of the famous ruler of Mughal dynasty was Chengiz Khan. His name was Chengiz Khan. Okay. So Babur, who established Mughal Empire in India, Babur, from his mother's side, mother was related to Chengiz Khan. So it is out of Mughal dynasty, the term Mughal, the dynasty which was established by Babur, is the term derived as Mughal Empire. Is that clear? So that like that, the dynasty, the empire which was established by Babur in India came to be known as Mughal Empire. You see, these are the six great Mughals. We went through in the last class also about all these rulers. So Babur founded the Mughal Empire. Then comes Humayun, then his son Akbar, then Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and the last ruler was Aurangzeb. These are the six great Mughals. Okay, let us discuss. Out of this, we have to only discuss about Akbar, his political history and administration. Let us go through the pages very soon now. Yes, you see here Akbar, which are the points we have to discuss under the political history of Akbar. You know that he came to the power only he was 13 years old. Okay, so because Humayun died when he was very small. So now, how he ruled his empire? You see, Bayram Khan, one of the prime minister, he was the prime minister of Mughal Empire at that time. So, with the support of Bayram Khan, Akbar ruled the empire. Okay, so during his period, he had to face a famous battle, that is second battle of Panipat, and it was held between Hemu and Akbar. Second battle of Panipat was held between Hemu and Akbar in which year? 1556. Don't get confused with first battle of Panipat. First battle of Panipat is held in the year 1526. With that, Mughal Empire came into excess in the country. This battle was held between Babar and Ibrahim Lodi. But the second battle of Panipat was held in the year 1556 between Hemu and Akbar. Clear? So, with this battle, so when the Akbar came to the power, he had to face lot of problem, because that was the time that many of the local rulers and even foreign rulers, like the ruler of Afghan, they were waiting for a chance to invade the country. But so facing all these challenges, Akbar proved to be a courageous and successful ruler. So in the beginning, he could get the support from Bayram Khan, and so with the support of Bayram Khan, he succeeded the second battle of Panipat against Hemu, the ruler of Afghan. Okay, then he captured many regions including Malwa. So which are the region captured by Akbar? Malwa, Gondwana, Bengal, Gujarat, Kashmir, Kabul. All these regions were captured by Akbar, and he established a strong rule in India. Then other than that, Ahmednagar, Barar, Kandadesh, all these, Kandadesh, Kandahar also. Kandahar is the present day Afghanistan, is known as Kandahar, Peshawar, you see, or Kabul. All these regions came under his control. Then you see Ahmedabad, then Gondwana, this is the South Indian region, then Malwa. So all these vast region came under the control of Akbar. Clear? So he brought about all these regions under his control. Yes, including Afghanistan. Okay, but except one region, he could not defeat one region, only one region. Which region was that? Mewar. Okay, who was the ruler of Mewar? Rana Pratap Singh, one of the courageous ruler. Okay, courageous ruler. Rana Pratap Singh was the, you must have heard about him, Rana Pratap Singh. He was the ruler of Mewar. Okay, except Mewar, all other region came under the control of Akbar. So they held a battle between Rana Pratap Singh and Akbar. Okay, so that famous battle is called Battle of Haldi Hati. Okay, that is called Battle of Haldi Hati. The battle which is held between Rana Pratap Singh and Akbar. So who led the army of Akbar at that time? Raja Man Singh. Raja Man Singh was one of the Rajput Rajput king, and he was the head of the army of. He was not a king, he was one of the Rajput. Okay, so he was appointed as the head of the army of Akbar. So Raja Man Singh led the battle against Maharana Pratap Singh, and so this famous battle, which is held in the year 1576, is known as Battle of Haldi Hati. Okay, in this famous battle, Maharana Pratap Singh was wounded very badly, and he had to escape himself from the battlefield. And finally, Mewar also captured by Akbar. So like that, Akbar established a vast empire. In all these paragraphs, it is saying all about his expansion. So you have to study. That means, what is that? All these first few paragraphs about how he came to the power and all. Then you have to discuss another important point in this paragraph is the second battle of Panipat. You have to study. Then which are the region captured by Akbar? Yes, these names just you have to remember. What is that? Yes, Barara, Kandadesh, all these names. So how he expanded. So all these territories came under his power, and except Mewar, then how he succeeded Mewar, how he captured Mewar with this with the battle of Haldi Hati in the year 1576. So this is all about the political history of Akbar. Next, let's see. This is also part of political history. Policy. What kind of policy he adopted with the Rajput? You know, Rajput rulers, Hindu rulers in India, they were very strong. Okay, they were always against of the foreign power in India. But during the Akbar's period, Rajputs also became happy and they also cooperated with Akbar. And why? Because of his policy. Akbar, he maintained a very friendly relationship between Rajput. How? He entered into marriage alliance. Once he entering into marriage alliance means he's becoming the relative of Rajputs. Okay. So, after entering into the marriage alliance, he also took extra care to his Rajput wives. You must be knowing the story of Jodhabai, no? The serial is there, Jodha Akbar. You must have seen that serial, must be seeing. So, you must be having a better idea about it. So, Jodha Akbar. So, Jodhabai was one of the wife, Rajput wife, and he, he'd never, forced any of his wife to follow the religion and culture or any custom of Islam. Okay, he has given maximum freedom to all his Hindu wives to practice their own rituals and follow their own religion. So that means he was a great ruler. He was very much religious tolerant. Understood? So Akbar not only gave complete religious freedom to his wife who followed Hinduism, but also gave honored place to their parents and relatives in nobility. Not only that means all her parents and relatives, he appointed him in a very good position in the administration. So nobility means the nobles, the people who are powerful and prestigious people in the society are known as nobles. So their group is considered as nobility. So Rajputs were enrolled in the nobility by giving good positions and respect in the society. So he appointed number of the Rajput. He entered into marriage alliance. He also appointed number of Rajput into higher positions and all in his administration. Understood? So what is that? Because of his policy, Rajput's policy of Akbar entered the centuries old animosity. So from the beginning, when the period of Delhi Sultanate, these Rajputs were enemy of these rulers. But during the Akbar's period, that enmity came to an end because of the wise policy adopted by Akbar. And the next is that Akbar played an important role in the integration. Integration means unity, bringing unity between Hindus and Muslims, all other religious people, which are the steps taken by Akbar for the integration. That means unity and bringing love and understanding among the people of Indians. One of the important policy was he abolished the poll tax or jizya. What was the jizya? It is a tax paid by the non-Muslims. Okay, those who were not Muslims, they had to pay one taxes during the Mughal period, that is jizya, and one more tax, pilgrim tax. If you go to Banaras or Prayag and all, the people dip in the river, no? So for that also people had to give some tax, that is called pilgrim tax. So visiting pilgrim holy places, non-Muslims, they had to give the taxes. So Akbar abolished both jizya and pilgrim tax. Why he said that? Because we don't need, we have to treat all the citizens equal, all the people equal. Okay, there should not be any difference between Hindus, Muslims and all. So that he adopted jizya and pilgrim tax in order to support the Hindus. So all became happy, and that was one of the important step of the towards the integration. So Hindus also started accepting all other people. And next is strengthen. He also, second point is that he strengthened what is the liberal principles by enrolling number of Hindus into nobility. That already we discussed. By enrolling number of Rajput, he appointed number of Hindu rulers or Rajputs and all into the higher position in the administration, like giving higher rank in his among his officials. Okay, then he also entered into matrimonial alliance. So okay, the next is that he built a hall in the year 1575. He built a hall, Ibadat Khana, in Fatehpur Sikri. Fatehpur Sikri is a building which is located in Agra. If you go there, you can find. Akbar stayed many years in Fatehpur Sikri in Agra. So he made a Ibadat Khana, a special prayer hall. There he called all the theologians. Theologians means people, what is that? Religious scholars are known as theologians. Religious scholars of Islam, Hindus, then people who got thorough knowledge about their religion and their scriptures are called theologians. So these theologians were called and discussions were held. Then he studied about the essence of all the religion he discussed. Then he formed a religion also, new religion called Din Ilahi. So what is Din Ilahi? A new religion which is formed by Akbar is called Din Ilahi, and he incorporated the good values of all the religious belief here in Din Ilahi. Then the main basic principle of Din Ilahi was Sukul. Sukul means universal harmony. So universal harmony, the well-being of all the people of the world, isn't it? And so all should be treated equally. Then also one God, the belief of oneness of God. That means there are different gods, isn't it? Different religious belief, different gods. But the ultimate aim is that actually there is only one power, national truth. Okay, so you use different roads to reach in a destination. Similar way, religions are also the different roads to reach to God. Okay, so there is only one God. So value points and essence and teaching of all the religions are almost same. Okay, so all the religion, none of the religion is teaching anybody to harm others' religion or harm anybody else. So all the religions, they are teaching to love each other, tolerate each other and respect elders, all good points. Understood? So oneness of God, Din Ilahi, its essence was oneness of God and universal harmony. And the next is that he also established a big translation department. For what? Translating all the other religious works into different languages, so that everybody will come to know about other religious beliefs, like which are the Sanskrit works and Arabic works and all, like what is that, Atharva Veda, then Bible is translated, then Quran, Mahabharata, Gita, Ramayana, all these works are translated in different languages so that others could also read and understand these religious teaching, so that there could establish a religious harmony and tolerance. So this brought about integration, unity between Hindus, Muslims and all other religious people in India during his period. Next, he also brought about several social and educational reforms during his period. So what are the social and educational reforms? Like Sati. What was Sati? The practice. What is that? The practice of the burning of widow on the funeral pyre of her husband is called Sati. Okay, it was existed in the ancient India, but during the Akbar's period, so it was, even though woman is not willing to practice, she is possibly pushed by others into the funeral pyre of the husband. So Akbar brought about the rule that nobody can practice forcible Sati. That means if she want, let her commit Sati. Otherwise, others cannot force. And he also legalized widow remarriage. Widows were not allowed to marry during his period. Okay, but he legalized the widow remarriage. He allowed that widows can remarry if they want. Then, so he also stopped the people to marry. The person cannot have more than one wife. So unless and until he is not having children from first wife, then only he can marry. Otherwise, he cannot have more than one wife. He insisted. Why? Because this is for the society, well-being of the society. Otherwise, they will make a practice of marrying so many wives. Then after that, many wives, they simply leave their children and wife. They are left orphan without any care. So in order to avoid all those things, he brought about such kind of rule. Then he also raised the marriage age of 14. So girls, they got married at the age of 10, 11, very small they are. Okay, they are incapable of leading a married life. So he raised the age up to 14. Presently it is up to 18. According to the present government rule, it is 18. No, girls, for girls 18 and boys I think 20 or 22 for boys. You have to look into. Okay, so 14 and boys age up to 16. Then Akbar revised the educational syllabus. That means now we have new education policy, NEP 2020 is there. Revised education policy, it is going to be implemented. Similar way, so because of the well-being of the society, according to the time, changes are to be brought. So here Akbar, he revised the educational syllabus, and he said that more moral education, values, other than learning the subject, values should be inculcated among the students, so in order to help them to lead a better life. Okay, then the other Mughal emperors also means following Akbar, other Mughal emperors, they also stressed importance to the education. Okay, these are all about Akbar's policy regarding integration and social reforms. Next we have to discuss the important point is that Mansabdari system. Okay, in the administration, you see, administration system of Mughals, you don't have to study all these things, and because we have to only focus on Akbar. Regarding administration, one of the most important contribution Akbar was Mansabdari system. What is Mansabdari system? Giving ranking to the official is called Mansabdari. It is introduced by Akbar and was a unique system of administration. You see, now you see, nowadays any military and all, you see, all the officials, they have got different rank, no, higher rank and lower rank, like that. So it is the first time Akbar gave the ranking system to the officials. After that only people all started following, giving ranking to the officials in the Indian history. So rank is known as Mansab. Mansab means what? So Mansabdari system is a ranking to the officials. Okay, the highest rank was given to the officer was what is that? 5,000. Okay, 5,000 was the highest rank given. Highest rank was 5,000 and the lowest rank was 10. 5,000 and the lowest rank given to them was 10. Okay, so 5,000 the highest rank, and 10 the rank was considered as the lowest rank. So all the officials were given the different ranking system. This is called Mansabdari system. Then you have to remember about Mansabdari: Zat, Sawar and Jagir. These three words. What is Sat and Zawar? Sawar, what is Sawar? And then Jagir. These are the terms you have to remember under the Mansabdari system. Now, what is Jagir? Let's see. Sat is means according to the position. So, how much of salary is paid to an officer? Accordingly, he got a particular respect and position in the society. That is called Zat. And Sawar means the number of army maintained by an officer. Number of army means they were asked to maintain the cavalrymen under him. Cavalry means soldier. Okay, cavalrymen. So number of soldiers maintained. Suppose for 10 soldiers, the officer had to maintain 20 horses. Okay, so number of soldier and number of horses maintained by a officer determine the position of that officer. Understood? So this is called Sawar. And the next is Jagir. So these officers were given their salary in the form of land. So this salary which is given in the form of land is called Jagir. Understood? This land is called Jagir. Okay. So in those days salary was not given in the form of cash. Okay, it was not given in the form of cash, it was given in the form of land. But most of the time these officials, they never stayed with their Jagir, their land. They did not reside there, but they gave their land to the farmers or somebody else. They have done the production and the profit was taken by them. This is how. So these are the points here. So you see which are the points you have to go through here. The ranks were divided into namely Sat and Zawar. Sat fixed the personal status of a person and salary due him. Then the higher the sat, more the prestigious. That is all. Then the savar rank indicated the number of cavalrymen or savar of a manassar was required to maintain. For every for every 10 cavalrymen, the mansabdar had to maintain 20 horse. Then mansabdar received their salary as revenue assigned called jagir. Understood? So however, most of the mansabdar did not actually reside in the administer their jagir. They only had the right to the revenue of their assignment. They only had the right means jagir. They appointed farmers. They kept farmers there. They cultivated, and the revenue means they collected the profit from these farmers. That is called the revenue. Is it clear? So with this we are concluding the chapter. You need to study whatever I have explained in this video. All the